Guys, welcome back to your Subscriber Saturdays. Today we are talking about the one and only James Robinson. Does he need to start again? Obviously, James has been playing exceptionally well this year, had his best round ever at Paynes Valley. Unfortunately, I was there to see that. But recently he's not been playing the best. He's not been hitting the ball as good as he possibly has this year, but we want to talk through why. So you can see by the videos, so one big thing I always talk to people about is getting your setup correct. So James has snuck a little bit back towards not aiming correctly. So you can see on his stance, the pin is on the left-hand side of the green, and he wasn't trying to play a draw, although he might try and tell you that. But James is starting to get very close with his stance, starting to get his feet and his shoulders to the right, and then from there he's having to rescue that. We can see the shot he actually hits, he catches a little bit heavy. It still made the front edge of the green, but he had around about a 60-foot putt, which is not ideal and not what you probably want. So we can see from his setup, we then get a good pretty much takeaway. If anything, you could say he picks it up a little bit outside the line if he was being picky. From there, we start to see that he actually goes from here. Then his move has always been to get a little bit inside, but fantastic at the top. So nice and solid at the top, and then on the way down, we can see that he does get his hands on plane, he does get the club head on plane, and it just catches it a little bit heavy. So we know that that is from, obviously, that setup. And one another shot that we've seen with the driver, if I can find a driver swing to put on there, is he's starting to get a lot of strikes off the heel, a lot of shots fading to the right. And the reason is for that, what we start to see is when people start to get close from here, we have to use our upper body a little bit more. And James is thinking, okay, I've lost a few out to the right because I've squared everything up and I blocked that. Right, I'm going to turn a little bit harder and get that coming a little bit straighter and more on line. Well, then what we do from there is James will work a little bit over the top, and from there he gets that club working left, the heel leads, and we start to hit some fading shots. Luckily, obviously, he's still getting a lot of forgiveness out of his driver, but he's not scoring as well as he was. So we need to get those basics right. And this is when you go to the driving range, we want you to think, right, okay, pick your target down the range there. Right, let me get set up there. Let me get into that position, and let's see, are my feet pointing exactly where I want, or am I a little bit right, or am I a little bit left to my intended target? And that's one big thing you can do. Obviously, you can't do that on the golf course, but doing it on the driving range, you're going to start to see patterns. Because if you're somebody who's hitting the ball straight right, you might be hitting some blocks, and then the next shot is a quick left. That is from the same thing. So aiming right, you hit a few blocks. The next one you want to try and get the hands in. We quickly close it down. We might catch it good, but it goes quickly left. Or we might catch it heavy like James did on that iron shot that we've just shown you. So what I want you to do is when you're practicing, when James is practicing, what I want him to do is just start to go back to basics. His swing, his takeaway is better because he's been working on his move away from his lesson from David Ledbetter. But then from there, up to the top, good. Back down is good. He's doing a lot of things right, although I'll probably not tell him this, and hopefully he won't watch the video. But he's doing a lot of things very well. It's just that aim that is costing him. So it's something so basic. Because how many times do we hit shots, absolutely flush them, they go out to the right, and you instantly then think, oh, right, what I need to do is I just need to close my hands a little bit more. Yes, it's just missed the green, but what have I done wrong there? Are you thinking, oh, I've got to release, I didn't release, I held it off. You're thinking all the things that it could be, but it can be something as simple as setup. So make sure when you're on the driving range, don't just have an alignment stick down, because that is not training you to go through your routine. So start to come on the driving range, pick your target, get set, and then from there, start to test. Have I got square, or have I gone a little bit left? You just see there, I'm actually there a little bit open, if anything. So start to see your patterns. My pattern is more than likely, which we'll see next week, is the other way. Sometimes I open up a little bit too much because I'm so used to playing a fade that sometimes I overdo that. But James has got a little bit too close. He's swinging it well, but it's his aim that is costing him. If we can get him a little bit squarer, we can get him starting the ball online better, and we can get him, hopefully, hitting more greens, hitting it closer. Unfortunately, I've hit that too well. But guys, get on the driving range, start to test your alignment, go to different targets, start to mix it up this winter, start to see if it's your aim that is costing you shots. You could be swinging it really well, hitting it good, but you're aiming too far left, too far right, and that's the reason why you're missing greens or hitting it in the trees off the fairways. But guys, if you want to get involved and you want to have me go through your swing, please do send it into that email below. We've got a couple lined up for the next week. We're going to be talking about my swing next week, what I want to do going into next year, what I am working on. I want to get a little bit more speed. I want to hit it further past James, just for everybody else's amusement more than anything. But guys, get your videos sent into that email below. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. Have a fantastic Christmas, and I'll see you next week.